back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So I'm here today to do a really exciting video, and that is my Diverseathon TBR. The Diverseathon, which happened last year, is coming back for round 2, and it's going to be taking place from the 22nd of January to the 29th of January. There are 4 hosts who are hosting it, so I'll link all their channels down below. I think they've all done a video kind of announcing it and talking about it and saying what it is and why diverse reads matter, so I think you should definitely watch one or other of their videos, or all of them, because they're great. And I definitely love the idea of this readathon. I really enjoyed it when I participated last year, and I'm super excited to participate once again. Basically, you just have to read something diverse, whether it's the author that's diverse and they're writing an own voices book which is about their own experience in some way. It could still be science fiction and fantasy, it could be a non-fiction, it could be pretty much anything, as long as there's some sort of diverse thing within it. And even better if it's something to do with that author, if it's something that author has lived, something that author has a deep connection to, something like that. So yeah, I have chosen 4 books that I'm going to try and read in this time. I don't know if I'll get to them all because I'm working a lot now, but I'm going to try my best to get to at least a few of them. So I'll just walk you quickly through them and tell you a little bit about each. The first one I have is one I recently picked up. It's called The Inconvenient Indian, and it's by Thomas King. This is a non-fiction book. It's kind of a cross between a memoir and a non-fiction factual book because it's talking about native Indians in America. Thomas King was born in America in California, but he's actually descended from the Cherokee line, and so he in this book talks about his experience being native Indian in North America, and he also talks a lot about the different experiences of Native American and Native Indian people within America and Canada, because there's not really a borderline between those two countries in the native communities. It's kind of just something that's imposed by Western society. So he talks about both Canada and America, and he talks about various different tribes and people. Mercedes is one of those people who I really trust, and she said that this was amazing and really informative. So I'm really looking forward to it. I don't really know anything much about Native Indians, Native Americans, any of the minor tribes within that or communities within that. So I'm really excited to kind of educate myself. I'm very aware that this is something I really don't know anything about, so I want to, and this book will be kind of a start place for me. The next book I have is one that is a science fiction. This is called Fox Gambit, and it's by Yoon-Ha Lee. You may have heard of this one because a lot of people who read sci-fi and fantasy recently have been talking about this and raving about it and saying it's great. One of those people being Elizabeth, who's one of my great friends from Books and Pieces, and she absolutely loved this and said that it's amazing, and she was talking about the next one coming out this year as well. I reckon that this one has a good shot of possibly getting nominated for some awards this year. It seems as though it could easily be one that a lot of people really like. So I want to give it a try. I've heard from a couple people that it's really confusing and you just kind of have to go into it with an open mind. I know that the author is actually a trans author, so I think that he talks about some of that experience through his narrative with gender ideals and different gender norms and stereotypes in here, so I'm pretty interested to see how that plays into the story, and whether it's a big part or a small part, I think this does count as an own voices book, and I'm really looking forward to getting a science fiction own voices in, because the only other one I think I've read that is a science fiction own voices is On the Edge of Gone by Corinne Duvis, and I loved that one, so I've got high hopes. I'm hopeful, but I'm also very aware that like hard SF is not my thing, so I'm kind of hoping that this falls into the not quite so terrifying hard SF but also interesting category. We'll see. The next one I have is a non-fiction. This is Beyond the Pale by Emily Urquhart. I heard about this on Jen Campbell's channel quite a while ago. She's friends with the author and she read the book and she loved it and she said it was amazing. Emily Urquhart's child, who is called Sadie Jane, was born with albinism, and albinism is a kind of rare genetic disease, I believe. I don't really know much about it and the condition itself and how it can appear, but I know that it is something that happens all over the world, and in certain cultures it seems as though people born with albinism are discriminated against, and in certain cultures they are regaled and heralded as like saviours. So Emily Urquhart, who was already an author before she had her daughter, and who also has a passion for folklore and fairy tales, looked into all of the myths and folklore surrounding albinism when she had her daughter, because she wanted to find out as much as possible about the condition to help her. And this is kind of her story of discovering everything she did. It sounds like it's going to be really fascinating. I don't really know much about the condition, as I say, but again, it's one I really want to find out about, and I think from what Jen has said that this is going to be a very beautiful and emotional read, as well as a really fun one for the folklore and the fairy tale elements. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that I'll really, really like this, and again, yeah, excited to read an own voices kind of book. And the last one I have on my TBR is The Good Immigrant, which is edited by Nikesh Shukula, but there are various different authors. I believe there's 21. It says 21 writers explore what it means to be Black, Asian and minority ethnic in Britain today. So these are all the writers that are listed in the book, and this is a collection. I'm not sure if they're all non-fiction or if there's some fiction, but I think they're mostly essays, and it's talking about immigration and how it is to move into Britain or live in Britain as someone who's not a native. I'm really looking forward to this because obviously I live in Britain and I know that there are problems with immigration and problems with how immigrants are treated. I definitely think it'll be interesting to open my eyes more to the topic and find out these people's experiences about their immigration into the UK and how they feel now, all of those sorts of things. I think it's a very relevant topic and something I am particularly interested in, and something I want to know more about because I don't really know an awful lot about it, particularly with Britain being the focus. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. Let me know what you're going to be reading if you're going to be joining in, and I hope that we all have a really good week of reading some really diverse books. So I'm really looking forward to it. Definitely an exciting readathon, and I can't wait to give it a go. So leave me all your comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.